right, guys, listen up. It's New Year's resolution season, and we all know how this goes. You make a big promise, you last about 2 weeks, you screw up, and you go right back to square one. Now, this year, for myself, I jump-started my season into better habits. Here, let's start with this. Now, I'm sharing with you my cheat code, guys. These are brand new. These are called Grooms. But this is truly the cheat code that's changing the game. These are not your average supplements. This is not some cheap multivitamin. Not just a greens powder, and definitely not just a probiotic. Look at this. Can you see this? Grooms. Grooms are all of those things. They're packed into 8 delicious gummies. You eat 1 bag of these. 8 gummies a day. You got everything handled. Why 8? Because you can't cram 20 plus vitamins, 60 plus whole food ingredients, super mushrooms, and more into 1 gummy. What do you mean, why 8? What a stupid question. And these gummies, they taste just like a fruit snack, but they hit like a heavyweight champ. Let's talk taste and let's talk convenience, okay? Grooms, as you can see, I'm holding right here. They come in a very simple pack. 1 big bag, grab yourself a pack each day. Take that, throw it in your lunch, throw it in your briefcase, throw it in your gym bag. Get it in the car with you. Just get 1 of these each day. Rip it open and go. It is truly the easiest habit that you'll ever stick to. Grooms stand out from other nutrition supplements because they're accurately dosed. If you check the label, you will see that your daily needs for safe vitamins and minerals are met. So here's the deal. I want you to start your New Year's off right, and I want you to do it with Grooms. Let me start by saving you 52%. Guys, check out the link. I put it down below. Get yourself some Grooms. Make this your healthiest year yet. Reinier. Reinier. What's this guy's name? What's this guy's first name? Reinier goes and gets in the ring. I'll watch this guy. Waste of my night, right? I'm there for the big fights. I'm there for the big names. Get this guy named Reinier. Well, at least he's taking on Kevin Holland. Kevin's one of my favorite guys to watch. Crowd goes, Reinier walks to the ring, nobody even knows who he is. Myself included. It's my job to know. I don't know this guy. Kevin Holland walks to the ring, man, this place is on their feet. It's one of the loudest receptions of the night. So, Reinier gets ready to fight. I'm going to name drop for you, but I was with Brian Callen. And Brian Callen, he slaps me and goes, hey, you know who that is, don't you? And he's talking about Reinier. I said, no. I couldn't believe that he did. I go, no. No one in this building knows. He said, that guy was the ONE UFC champion. In fact, he was the champion in 2 different weight classes. Boom, it hits me. I know exactly who he is. I know he is because I've read his stories. I've never seen him fight. I read all about this guy. I read the day that he came to the UFC as 2-division champion in ONE UFC. I'd never seen him. So when Brian Callen tells me, oh yeah, I know exactly who this boy is. Yes, this guy can fight. So the fight begins. He comes out, and it was kind of a sloppy single leg, but he gets Kevin Holland down. And Kevin Holland has been very diligent to make sure he gets back up. In some of Kevin Holland's early fights, even the fight where he won 5 fights in a year, even the time he beat Jacare, he made a mistake of staying on bottom too long. Even when he got the result he wanted, he stayed on bottom too long. So somewhere along the journey, Kevin Holland decides he's not going to stay on bottom. As much as he loves jiu-jitsu and he wants to represent Travis Lutter, he's just not going to do it. Well, he didn't have a choice Saturday. He didn't stay on bottom. He was kept down. And when this fight is over, which is first round, beating Kevin Holland, not easy to do. If you go by the numbers, you can do it, but there's a way to do it. And submitting Kevin Holland in the first 5 minutes is just simply not anywhere in Kevin's past. You're just not going to do that. So Reinier does, and I spoke to his team. I spoke to some of them in the back, and their plan was to call out Bo Nickal. Now, that would have been dismissed, for sure. He would not get that fight. But afterwards, now that it's a hindsight issue, now that we see what Reinier can do, why couldn't we get that fight? I mean, one of the things that stops us from getting the Bo Nickal fights that we want is how good Bo is in conjunction with how terrible they have him ranked. There is nobody within the rankings committee that believes they got 5 guys that can beat Bo. There's almost, right, nobody that would keep Bo out of the top 3. They collectively can't get him into the top 15. It's not because they don't think he's good enough. They don't think they have the right to elevate him. They think he has to fight somebody that is ranked. And that's just not anywhere within the criteria or the rules. At some point, you got to look at Bo Nickal and say he's unbeaten. But that's just not what's going on right now. And so that's why we're not getting the fights that we want. We can't get Bo Nickal in there with Chimaev, just for example. So now, you got Reinier. Reinier is a hammer. He is undefeated in the UFC, even if it's 1-0. Bo Nickal is undefeated in the UFC. Reinier wants to fight Bo Nickal. I want Bo and Reinier to fight. So why should we be told no on this? If we're being told no purely because we're told how important rankings are in terms of getting matchups, let's relook at that. Of all the ideas that Reinier had, I was most impressed with what his teammates, his coaches told me in the back, which is that his plan, even though he didn't go through with it, was to call out Bo. I like that idea, and I really like that match. I think that's a lot of fun. Bo Nickal versus Reinier. What do you think?